What's going on, y'all? Welcome back to Going for Two. I am Q1 Humphreys. And last night, the LA Clippers played their first game, their first playoff game at the brand new Intuit Dome. And it was a performance by them, to say the least. But before I dive more into that, man, make sure to hit that subscribe button, share with y'all folks, like, and leave a comment as well. Now, let's get right into it. Game three of the Western Conference quarterfinal series between the number 4 seed Denver Nuggets and number 5 seed LA Clippers. I expected the Nuggets to come out with a win because I looked at the close game of game 2 and the crazy performance of Kawhi Leonard, who's scoring 39 points on 4 missed shots. I said, okay, it's time for Jokic to have his game. I think Jokic is going to come out here and establish himself and really just make an imprint on the game early. That was not the case. The game was close. This game was close, similar to games 1 and 2. It was close for about 10 minutes. The Clippers went on a 21-3 run that lasted pretty much, I would say, about 4 minutes of game time. It started with 2.5 minutes left in the first quarter and finished 2 or 3 minutes into the second quarter. And they absolutely flipped the game on their head. Absolutely put the game on its head. And the Nuggets, they're not the team they once were. They're not the team they used to be, where they can flip a switch and just play way better basketball over the course of a quarter. We saw that in recent years, but this year that's not this Nuggets team. And I want to really call out, I guess highlight a couple of performances by some Clippers players, because you would think, okay, they won by 34 points. Kawhi must have went off again. James Harden must have went off again. Somebody had to have a crazy performance for them to win the game. 83 to 117 was the score. The Clippers won 34 points. 117 to 83. It was a blowout. You got Kawhi Leonard, who had 39 points in game 2, scored 21 and 11 rebounds and 6 assists in game 3. Norman Powell had 20 points, shot pretty well, 7 for 12 from the field, 3 for 8 from 3-point line. Ivica Zubac, I think that's how you say his name, had 19 points and 9 rebounds. And James Harden had 20 points, 9 rebounds, and 6 assists. Even Batum had 12 points off the bench as well. He had a bunch of threes as well. Had the announcer from NBA TV going crazy. So nobody from this Clippers team really had a standout performance as far as the stats. But if you watch that game, the way I watched the game, and I went back and rewatched it before I cut the camera on, this was a James Harden game. The stats aren't going to show you that. But the eye test and watching the game is going to show you that James Harden's fingerprints was all over this game. And it was namely because he was able to put the Nuggets defense in some very uncomfortable situations, and he made them have to make decisions on who to leave open. And a couple times they decided to leave Chris Dunn open, but Chris Dunn knocked down a couple threes to get today, finished with 8 points. But what I saw was they were in the same action over and over and over. They ran the same action. You have a high ball screen. You have Zubac coming set a screen for Harden, getting Jokic into action. And that would lead to them having to blitz. They had to ultimately blitz the pick, because the thing with the Nuggets right now, they don't have the individual defenders that they had during their finals run and even last year. They don't have the individual defenders to where you're fine with, okay, this guy's on James Harden, this guy's on Kawhi Leonard, we're fine. We can let them live. They don't have that. So now when the pick and roll is called, they're trying to blitz. So they have Jokic up, blitz, try to force a pass. And they force a pass, and but Harden will drop the ball off to Zubac. And Zubac, having the development of a lifetime over a season, he either takes the easy floater, the easy 10-foot floater or whatever, or rotations happen and he finds an open shooter in the corner. And I think that was a big thing for the Nuggets. It was just bad effort on defense, bad effort and bad body language on defense. And that's not going to get the job done. And to be honest, with all the turmoil that they've been through this season, I'm not surprised that we're seeing this. This is how teams, and I said it in my preview video for the playoffs, this is how teams who are not playing as a cohesive unit play. Defensively, it's just effort. You have to make a commitment to rotate to that open shooter, to close out on that shooter in the corner. You have to make up. If they're going to have Jokic blitz up top, it's 4-on-3 on the back end. which is already a disadvantage. But if you're not going to give 110% to try to get a stop, it's going to be easy pickings. And that's exactly how it was this game. Exactly how it was. We saw in game 2, Kawhi Leonard was making all the contested shots in the world. This game, he had a bunch of just easy catch and shoot threes. You know? And I think that's a callback to just the degradation. The degradation of this roster over the past couple of seasons for the Denver Nuggets. You lose out on Caldwell Pope. You let him go. Caldwell Pope was the best perimeter defender that you had last season. You had him and you had Aaron Gordon. And them two together helped make up for the lacking on the defensive end that Jokic and Michael Porter Jr. and Jamal Murray has. But now you don't have that. And the crazy thing is, this series has done such a good job of showing that the Nuggets have no stoppers. Because you look at the stats, Kawhi Leonard coming into game 3, it said when he was defended by Jamal Murray, he was 10 for 10 from the field. 10 for 10. That means when Kawhi sees Jamal Murray on him, that ball is going in the basket. And then on the flip side, when Kawhi Leonard saw Aaron Gordon, he's 9 for 10 from the field. Aaron Gordon, this is a guy that's your best perimeter defender now. When the Claw saw him, bucket. And I want to say there was another matchup. I have to go see. I saw it before I started recording. I want to say it was James Harden versus Christian Brown. He's 7 for 10 whenever Christian Brown is guarding him. This is a guy that you let go of a Bruce Brown to elevate. You let go of a KCP to elevate. Now, no slouch, no disrespect to Christian Brown. He's had a really good season to me. But as far as what the team needs, he's not fulfilling what the team needs to the best extent. But man, it's looking really ugly. It's looking really, really ugly for the Denver Nuggets. Game 4 is a must-win game because you don't want to go down 3-1. And when I look at these series, when I look at these games, I think the Clippers could easily be up 3-0 in this series. Game 1 was a nail biter, came down, went to overtime. Game 2, the Clippers won, and in Game 3, it was a blowout. I fully expect the Nuggets to come out guns a-blazing in Games 4 and try to tie this game up going back to Denver because this is a must-win game for them. Their season to me is on the line because they would not come back 3-1. They would not come back 3-1. But on the flip side, I expect the Clippers to try to kill it. And I think it's uber important that Kawhi Leonard is locked in. He's a man on a mission. Because James Harden, to me, now this series he's been good all 3 games in this series. But in history, we know James Harden, he over the course of a series, his play begins to drop. But now with Kawhi Leonard being the Kawhi Leonard that we've known and we know he can be if he's on the court, this team is very scary. Not to mention Zubac being an All-NBA player this year. This is a scary team. This is a scary team. I think we're ahead. We're on a crash course for a potential second-round matchup between the Oklahoma City Thunder, who went up 3-0 last night after their crazy comeback. Not too much I got to say about that one. Ja went down, and the Thunder took over the game. I think that'll be a very interesting series. And maybe I'm jumping the gun a little bit, digging in the grave for the Denver Nuggets. But what I saw last night showed me that, okay, this is not the same Nuggets team. And we knew that, but this looks like a team that's not a team. And we can see it. Michael Porter Jr. had himself a very quiet game, looked very disengaged, again, similar to Game 1, looked very disengaged. They scored 83 points. Jokic had 23-point triple-double, and Jamal Murray had 23 points. They were responsible for half of the team's points. Even Aaron Gordon put up 15 points. So them guys scored 58 points, or I'm sorry, not 58, 61 points. And the other maybe 5, 6, 7 guys that played only scored 22. Not going to win like that. Not going to win like that. But until next time, man, make sure you like, comment, subscribe, share with y'all folks. Going for 2. We out of here. Yeah.